Okay, so today's listening session is going to be fairly short. It's the third piano sonata of Carlos Chavez, Mexican composer. I can't find any recordings, well, at least not on YouTube, that have all the movements, so we're just going to listen to movements one and two. It's possible that this is much older than I think. Okay, yeah, this is not gonna work. 1928. We got to cover this way later. So I guess I was mistaken because this is published in 1972. Haven't had a false start in a while, but I think I'll just keep it in because why not? Okay, well, if that's the case, we are still listening to a short piece, De la Nuit by Salvatore Sciarrino. So I think I've mentioned this piece on a number of other episodes, like some of the piano Sciarrino episodes. It's a work of his from 1971 for piano, and it's actually on the shorter side. It is 30 pages of music, but it goes by at such a clip that it's maybe like 4 minutes long. This is what the first page looks like. If you scroll through, you'll notice there's no bar lines, and it has like this really florid, fluid looking notation, cross staff beaming, these like slurs that weave in and out of the figures, even like octava signs that are kind of weaving in and out. All this is very kind of Franco Donatoni looking. Nope, Amarillo Pascuc? Mario? Maybe it's Mario Pascucci? Yeah, all I can really find is that this is the dedicatee of this piece. There's no other information on this person. Um, any background on the piece? Let's just have a listen to this thing. I'll let you know my thoughts. If you have any relevant info on the nature of the composition, like the occasion for which it was composed, who premiered it, sound off in the comments. I think that'd be really good to know. But this one, I'm just gonna have to go in fairly blind here. And link to the recording is, as always, in the video description. Okay, yeah, so I neglected to mention that this is entirely quotations of Gaspard de la Nuit by Ravel. Um, I guess specifically the first and last pieces. And yeah, it's kind of a fascinating little piece. I mean, it is impossible looking to play. I mean, I could barely follow along with the score. Um, I'm surprised that these types of things get performed at all, because holy. Um, it's like it might be the most difficult thing we've listened to on the channel. I mean, there's the diff in the piano series. I mean, there's the Xenakis that we looked at and the Ferniho, but this is like difficult in another way. It's like really just crazy fast, and there's not a lot of room to mess anything up because it people know what the Ravel sounds like, so it has to sound like that. It's pretty hard to fake. I think um, it's sort of changing my perspective of Sciarrino a little bit. We've looked at so much of his music on this channel, and he never really struck me as like the quotation guy or the meta narrative or intertextual kind of composer, but it's kind of an interesting thing to think about in his music, like the way that he quotes Ravel in this and sort of like uses repetition to sort of like transform it into something else is it's very much his approach to other sonic materials, you know. He often will like repeat something or recontextualize something ad nauseum until it becomes its own thing. And I think he probably developed that skill um, through quoting things that he liked, like this. That might have been a way. I'm just spitballing, but it might have been a way for him as a composer to like sort of push a little bit outside of this sort of rigid modernist like serial perspective that he would have been having to deal with, right? And like starting to think of music a little bit more like sonically and acoustically as something, you know. Um, that's all I have to say about that before I get too pretentious today. Um, I think tomorrow will be then. Well, let's see here. We'll get into some more Gubaidulina, some of her shorter pieces for piano.